Hello, welcome to part 2. This in the previous part 1 we have studied regarding sulfur, its physical, its allotropes, its ore and its a source of sulfur, regarding use of sulfur. We have studied the chemical properties of sulfur, sulfur dioxide, we have studied use of sulfur dioxide, test for sulfur dioxide, regarding acid rain we have studied. So in the part 2 we'll be studying about sulfuric acid. Okay, first we saw sulfur, then we saw sulfur dioxide. Now we'll be studying sulfuric acid. So here sulfuric acid is known as king of chemicals. Sulfuric acid is known as king of chemicals. The formula is H2SO4. Industrial manufacture of sulfuric acid by contact process. So as I told you, sulfuric acid is king of chemicals, so it is used in many things to make. So here we have to prepare this on the huge large scale. So that is known as manufacturing of sulfuric acid. By which process? By the contact process. Okay, let's start. Here, this part here, sulfur reacts with oxygen. In the stage 1 there are following stages here. In the first stage, what happens? Sulfur reacts with air or oxygen to give sulfur dioxide. Very simple. S plus O2 gives SO2. Now the stage 2 here, equation 2, this sulfur dioxide reacts with some more oxygen to give SO3. So here SO2 plus O2 gives SO3. Sulfur dioxide plus oxygen gives sulfur trioxide. This question is very important for examination. This question will be asked for 2 marks. How sulfur dioxide is turned to sulfur trioxide? So this is very simple equation. But if you just write equation without balancing, you might lose 1 marks. So here you can see one more question you can ask. What is this symbol indicates? This symbol here. The arrows going in the forward and backward direction. This is known as reversible. Okay, this equation is reversible reaction. This is highly exothermic reaction. Okay. Next, here what are the conditions for this reaction to take place? The conditions are requirement of an catalyst. So what's a catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which increases the rate of reaction without itself undergoing any chemical change. So which catalyst we are going to use here in this reaction? Vanadium pentoxide. V2O5 is the catalyst we are going to use here. Apart from that, a specific temperature, that is optimum temperature, should be 450 degrees Celsius. 450 degrees Celsius. Along with that, even pressure of 2 atmospheric pressure is used in this reaction. Many questions will be asked regarding this here. What happens to the rate of reaction when temperature increases? Suppose the temperature is higher than this 450 degrees Celsius, then the reaction, what happens to the rate of reaction? The rate of reaction increases. The rate of reaction increases as the particles or the molecules collide with each other faster. But question can be, what happens to the yield of SO3 here? How much SO3 is produced? The yield will decrease as temperature increases, rate of reaction increases, whereas yield will decrease. Okay. Now using this SO3 we can directly add water. So you can see in this equation, SO3 plus water gives sulfuric acid. So this is an easy method actually, but we don't use this reaction here. SO3 plus H2O will give H2SO4, no doubt, but this is very violent reaction. So this reaction is very violent reaction, and a thick mist is produced. A thick mist is produced. This question can be asked here. What happens when water is added to SO3, and why this reaction is not suitable? Okay. So instead of this step here, what they do, so they choose step 1, step 2, and directly they do and another step here. What they do, they take this SO3 from obtained from second step and they add that SO3 to sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid. So SO3 plus H2SO4 gives H2S2O7. H2S2O7. This is known as oleum. And in the last step, we should take this oleum. Okay, here the last line you can see here, that oleum you took, right? H2S2O7. When you add correct amount of water to oleum, you will get sulfuric acid. Okay, so this whole thing here carries 6 marks. In your previous papers you must have seen a question will be regarding 6 marks, how sulfuric acid is manufactured or something like that question. So what you need to do is, this is step equation 1, equation 2, equation 3 and this last equation 4, this last line. Okay, only 4 equations you have to write, and here you should write the conditions like catalyst, that is vanadium pentoxide, and temperature and pressure. If you write this part, you will get 6 marks. There will be question asked on this line also, this equation, how is oleum prepared, etc. Means this equation you need to write. Then here they'll ask you what is the drawback of adding SO3 to water. It produces thick mist or it's very violent. Any of the point if you write, you will get 1 marks. Now uses of sulfuric acid, as I told you, king of chemicals sulfuric acid is. So it is used in making for detergents, it's as a catalyst. Here detergents you can see in the aerial, as a catalyst in the electrolysis process you must have seen. As a drying dehydrating agent, this will be studying in the next slide. As a fertilizer, that is in the ammonium sulfate, to treat the metals, treating metals to remove oxidation by before painting, in anodizing aluminum and in the car batteries. Okay, sulfuric acid is used in the car batteries. It is used in paints and dyes, fibers, etc. Sulfuric acid is also used in laboratories as a laboratory reagent. Now very important here, this question is asked for extended students here. So properties of sulfuric acid, in that dilute sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid is a typical strong diabasic acid. What do you mean by diabasic acid? Here this question will be asked for 2 marks. A diabasic acid is a one with 2 replaceable hydrogen atoms, which may produce 2 series of salt. Out of 2 series of salt, one will be normal, another will be acid salt. So here diabasic. So you know the formula of sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Okay, let's take example here. I'm just taking an example here. So H2SO4 formula is there, in that there are 2 hydrogen atoms. If I remove 1 hydrogen atom and put a metal there, like for example sodium, magnesium, any metal if you put na. So let's take for example sodium. Out of 2H, remove 1H and keep 1H as it is. So here the formula will become NaHSO4. NaHSO4. Okay. So the compound will be sodium hydrogen sulfate or sodium bisulfate. Here you can see, as there is still H in the formula, so this becomes acid salt. So diabasic acid is an acid which has 2 H plus ions replaceable. One more is it forms a normal salt. Okay, let's see what is normal salt. Let's take example in this case. So you can see here, this is sulfuric acid. As I told you, if you remove both the hydrogen atoms and put a metal there, which metal in this case? Zinc. It forms ZnSO4. So here there is no H ions anywhere in this formula. So this is a normal salt. So I hope you understood what is dibasic acid. Okay, let's see once again. A dibasic acid is a one with the two replaceable hydrogen atoms which may produce two series of salts, normal salt and acid salt. Okay, third point here. Dilute sulfuric acid reacts with bases such as sodium hydroxide and copper oxide to produce normal salts called sulfates and waters. So when sulfuric acid, that is dilute sulfuric acid, when it is made to react with some bases, what are the bases here? Here NaOH, CuO, etc. When they react, they produce sulfates. You should keep this in mind. And water. Let's see one example. So dilute sulfuric acid, when it reacts with the NaOH, sodium hydroxide, it forms sulfates. Which sulfate? Depending on which element metal hydroxide you have taken. Suppose it is the sodium hydroxide, it will give sodium sulfate. If it is any magnesium hydroxide, magnesium sulfate will be formed. Along with sulfate, it will form water. Okay, so this is a base. NaOH is a base. Acid and base, when they react, they form salt and water. So this is a normal salt, as there is no H ions in this. Similar, one more example they are given is copper oxide. Here very important question will be asked in this one. What is the color of copper oxide? Copper oxide will be black in color. Okay, so black powder like thing. So sulfuric acid, when it is added to copper oxide, it forms copper sulfate. This is a base here. Base plus acid gives salt and water. Okay, here black color is changing to blue color. Okay, so dilute sulfuric acid, when it reacts with copper oxide, black color copper oxide, there is a formation of blue color copper sulfate plus water is formed. So this is usually a neutralization reaction. Next property. Dilute sulfuric acid also reacts with carbonates to give normal salts, carbon dioxide and water. So here in this slide you must be knowing this one here. So this is a carbonate compound. This is a calcium carbonate. You can take any carbonate, copper carbonate, magnesium carbonate, any carbonate compound plus sulfuric acid. When you add, you get metal, sulfate, water and carbon dioxide. Any carbonates will give carbon dioxide. Okay, so here CaCO3 plus H2SO4 will give CaSO4 plus water plus carbon dioxide. Okay, next, dilute sulfuric acid reacts with metal to give normal salt and hydrogen gas. So this is an metal here. Which metal? Zinc. It is a reactive metal. When metals like zinc, when it reacts with sulfuric acid, it gives which salt? Normal salt. Here there is no H ions in this, so it is a normal salt. Plus it gives which gas? Hydrogen gas. Zinc plus sulfuric acid gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. This is also the method of preparing hydrogen gas in the laboratory. So what they have taken? They have taken a conical flask. In that, few zinc granules at the bottom. With the help of this funnel, Thiessen funnel, they are adding dilute sulfuric acid. When the metal and sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid, when they react, there is a formation of hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas is collected over water. So this white part is nothing but hydrogen gas being collected inadvertently. Next here, sulfates. So in the previous you saw copper sulfate was formed, sodium sulfate was formed, then there was a formation of, so here zinc sulfate was formed, here sodium sulfate and here copper sulfate. So these are all the salts. The salts of sulfuric acid. Okay, the salts of sulfuric acid are known as sulfates. Next, let's see the test for sulfate. Suppose you have any sulfate at your home. If you want to know whether there is sulfate ions in it, what you need to do? First thing, take a test tube, add few drops of dilute HCl to the unknown sulfate. Okay, I'll tell you once again. Take a test tube, add any sulfate, calcium sulfate, copper sulfate, any sulfate, the compound which contains SO4 2 minus ions. Okay, any sulfate ion powder into the test tube. To that test tube add few drops of dilute HCl followed by few drops of barium chloride. So first you should take any sulfate, then add HCl followed by barium chloride. So if suppose there are sulfate is present, then there will be a formation of white precipitate. You can see in this image here. So if a sulfate is present, a white precipitate of barium sulfate forms. So barium chloride reacts with sulfate to form barium sulfate. So what exactly is this white PPT has formed? How this white PPT has formed? This is an ionic equation. So barium ions from the barium chloride and sulfate ions from the unknown sample will give you barium sulfate. This barium sulfate is white in color. So here you can see here in the picture here. This white is because of formation of barium sulfate, which is insoluble. Next one, some metal sulfates here. Uses of some metal sulfates. Ammonium sulfate is used as a fertilizer. This question can be asked. Okay. The fertilizer obtained from reaction of sulfuric acid. So ammonium sulfate. Why ammonium sulfate? You should know that plants require three main elements. NPK, nitrogen, P means what? Phosphorus, and K means potassium. Here you can see there is a presence of nitrogen in the formula. So ammonium sulfate is an fertilizer. Second is barium sulfate, PaSO4. It is used in X-ray studies. Third is calcium sulfate, CaSO4 half H2O, plaster of Paris, also known as plaster of Paris. It is used to set bones. The fourth is magnesium sulfate here. So magnesium sulfate is MgSO4. It is used in medicine as a laxative. Next, we'll study about concentrated sulfuric acid, properties of concentrated sulfuric acid. So in the uses you must be knowing that a word came, dehydrating agent. Sulfuric acid is an dehydrating agent. So here you should know what do you mean by dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent means it takes away water from variety of substance. Sulfuric acid takes away water from many substances. Let's take an example here. This is a beaker containing sugar, the sugar which you have at home. Okay, that is known as sucrose. The formula is C12H22O11. Okay, sugar you should take in a beaker and add concentrated sulfuric acid. To this beaker containing sugar you should add sulfuric acid. Which sulfuric acid? Concentrated sulfuric acid. After some times we will see a black mass rising from the beaker. Okay, so what exactly is happening here? This formula you can see there is a water in this sugar here, H22 and O11 actually. Okay, this water molecules here. So what does sulfuric acid do? It removes the water from this molecule. So what is the reaction? There is formation of 12 carbon and 11 water molecules. So this black color mass is nothing but it is carbon. See here, the concentrated sulfuric acid has removed the elements of water from the sugar, leaving back carbon. So this is carbon. One more example, let's see here. Sulfuric acid as an dehydrating agent. Okay, so what we should do is we should take hydrated copper sulfate. The color of hydrated copper sulfate will be blue crystalline. Blue crystalline. Okay, here hydrated copper sulfate crystals you should take. Okay, the formula of hydrated copper sulfate is CuSO4.5H2O. When you add concentrated sulfuric acid with the help of this pipette here, you can see the blue color here at the tip. You can see slightly it is becoming white. So when sulfuric acid is added, concentrated sulfuric acid is added on the hydrated copper sulfate, that is CuSO4.5H2O, this concentrated sulfuric acid removes the water molecules from this compound. So what is left now? CuSO4, and the name will become anhydrous copper sulfate. Okay, and there is a formation of water. So concentrated sulfuric acid is a powerful or a strong dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent means it removes water from variety of substances. You saw here in this one. Here you saw from sugar it removed water, carbon is left. Here from copper sulfate pentahydrate it removed this 5 molecules of water. So color change from blue to white. It becomes from hydrated to anhydrous. Next, this is very important here. Sulfuric acid is very corrosive in nature. Okay, it is very corrosive in nature. If you want to dilute this concentrated sulfuric acid, there is a method. There is a procedure, proper method is there. You should, if you want to dilute, what you should do? You should add acid to water. You should add acid to water. A to W. Never you should do in the reverse direction. You should never add water to acid. Okay, otherwise it will come out of the beaker and fall on your skin. See here, diluting concentrated sulfuric acid must be done with great care because of its affinity for water. Sulfuric acid here, concentrated sulfuric acid likes water a lot. So A to W, keep this in mind. A to W, acid to water. The next property of sulfuric acid as a drying agent. Many gases are dried by passing concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, the best example is, suppose you want HCl gas, that is hydrogen chloride gas. Okay, you want hydrogen chloride gas. During the laboratory preparation there may be moisture in the apparatus, so HCl gas, instead of getting HCl gas we might get hydrochloric acid, but we want hydrogen chloride. The formulas are same, but depending on it is whether it is a gas or it is a liquid, it changes from hydrogen chloride to hydrochloric acid. Okay, suppose I want HCl gas, then I need to dry it. So what drying agent I should use? I should use sulfuric acid as a drying agent. But for ammonia, suppose I want ammonia gas, in this case I can't use sulfuric acid as a drying agent because ammonia is a alkali, whereas sulfuric acid is an acid. Alkali and acid react to form salt and water. I want gas, I don't want salt and water, so we can't use sulfuric acid as a drying agent to dry ammonia gas. Next here, sulfuric acid as a powerful oxidizing agent. Okay, for example, when heated with metals such as copper, it will oxidize them to copper ions and form copper sulfate. So when copper metal reacts with sulfuric acid, that is concentrated sulfuric acid, it gives copper sulfate, water and SO2 gas. copper ions are formed here. So this is undergoing oxidation, oxidizing agent. So sulfuric acid is acting as an oxidizing agent. So here you can see here there is a production of SO2. Suppose you want to prepare SO2 gas in the laboratory, you can follow this method. Next one, very interesting property of sulfuric acid, that is constant sulfuric acid is 2. We can make 2 more acids. Using sulfuric acid we can make 2 more acids. Which are those acids here? They are nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. Okay, let's see. So if I want HCl to be prepared, I need NaCl, sodium chloride, and sulfuric acid. When they react, they form sodium hydrogen sulfate and HCl gas, hydrogen chloride. To this hydrogen chloride, if you add water, you get hydrochloric acid. So using sulfuric acid, you have prepared one more acid, that is hydrochloric acid. Similarly, if you want nitric acid, you can take help of sulfuric acid. So what are the things required? You need any nitrate, potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate. When these nitrates are made to react with sulfuric acid, you get sodium hydrogen sulfate plus nitric acid. So here you should be very careful and very important for the extended students that using sulfuric acid you can make 2 acids, hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. Now here this nitric acid and hydrochloric acid are volatile. Both these acids are more volatile than concentrated sulfuric acid. Concentrated sulfuric acid is non-volatile, whereas HCl and HNO3 are volatile. They evaporate very easily, whereas H2SO4 does not evaporate. So this is the end of this chapter. Sulfur chapter ends here. This is a checklist. You can go through this. Some definitions will be asked. Thank you.